Hey viewers, it is Decula from SpartanSubs.com giving you an informative video today on deadlifting. In particular, what exercises can you incorporate into your routine to increase your deadlift 1RM? So starting off this video, the first exercise to incorporate is the deficit deadlift. So the deficit is of course pulling from a deficit, so putting yourself in a less advantageous position. So it's going to of course increase the range of motion that you are lifting. It's also going to increase your speed off the floor. So the first thing you'll notice in this video here is I've paused it. I'm standing on about 4 inches worth of plate. So I think that's a 15 kilo bumper plate and then a 20 kilo plate just upside down on it. So it's better stability, I should say. So you're not wobbling all over the place. Second up, you'll also notice in this video that I am squatting down into. You have to do that quite a bit in the deficit, otherwise you'll pretty well just pull it from a stiff-legged deadlift. Pushing through the heels, of course, as you should be in any deadlift, and keeping a relatively neutral spine. However, we are all human, and I've got my big dumb head up. I should be looking more so towards the ground in this one, otherwise I haven't really got a perfectly neutral spine. Like I said, we are all human, so you have to account for human error. And as we'll just see, I'll just rep out a couple of deadlifts here. So really emphasizing on the lockout. I'll just pause it at the top of this next one as well. So you really want to emphasize pushing your hips through the bar. Fucking the bar is basically what they say, for lack of a better word. So that's a deficit deadlift. The second lift we're going to do is the pause rep deadlift. So this is a very, very effective deadlift for lockout strength, basically. So what you're going to do on this one, I'll show you a couple of reps first. So pausing at the knee, you can see that the bar is probably about the highest you would want to have the bar for a pause rep deadlift. You don't really want to have it any higher than that. So maybe just even a little lower than what I've got. So a little bit lower than the knee. Pausing for a brief moment. Some people like to pause for a bit longer. For the video's sake, I just pause for probably like half a second, if that. So pausing, time on detention, and then you really want to explode through the weight. But you'll see as well, you have to keep your chest up and relative to neutral spine. My head's a little better there, but it's still not quite perfect. So this is going to really hammer in, basically like it's going to strengthen your form. So it's at this point in the lift where most people's lift would go to crap, basically. They would bend over like a fishing rod and they would hitch it the rest of the way up from their knees up. Doing a pause rep deadlift like this is going to strengthen that point in your deadlift. So you are going to have a better form, basically, for when you pull your heavy 1RMs. And you can see there just ripping through the deadlift. So pausing about just below the knees and then really smashing your hips through, basically. So the third exercise of this video is the arch back good morning. Good mornings are an awesome exercise for glute and ham strength and core stabilization as well. So you can see my setup here. Feet probably a little wider than what I'd use for a squat. Hand placement is a little bit wider as well, and the bar's a little bit lower on my traps. So the reason it's an arch back good morning is basically so the bar doesn't roll and hit you in the back of the head. So you can see I've got a little bit of flexion in my knees. You kind of need to. It's still got a lot of tension on my hamstrings and glutes. I'm just quite tight in the hamstrings, so it's probably not intentional that there's that much flexion. As you can see as well, you need to have the relatively neutral spine, although my big dumb head once again is looking at myself in the mirror, so make sure you keep your head neutral, as well as keeping your chest up so the bar doesn't roll forward and hit you in the back of the head. As these are all strength type of exercises, so performing for sets of probably 3 and I would say up to around 5 reps is going to be ideal for all of these exercises. You see me rep out a few more of these here. So you see me repping out a few more of these ones as well. So going down to about parallel, flexing at the hip and exploding back up is going to cross over to a better explosive lockout too on your deadlift. So from Spartan Subs, I'm Decula, and that's 3 ways to increase your deadlift. Hey viewers, thanks for watching. Make sure if you like this video, you hit the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything Spartan Subs related. We're going to be coming at you with product reviews, product demonstrations, supplement reviews, as well as supplement duels. So we're going to be comparing the best products on the market and what's going to work best for you. Make sure as well, if you need any supplements or apparel, head over to spartansups.com and we'll hook you up. Make sure you watch the videos in the sidebar here, and from Spartan Sups, I'm Declan and I'm out.